Hi, this is Kavita Saini and I am a legal intern at LEXIS and Company and I am a law student of IMB College, and today we are going to discuss another new topic, which is daughters' right on property. In India, daughters do not always have property rights. Women have always been treated inferior to men, both in terms of inheritance rights and the capacity to hold property independently. There were many restrictions on both inheritance rights and women's property rights, which did not exist for men. Today, the law of inheritance entire body has gone significant reform through subsequent legislation and amendment. Daughters now have equal share in property. Today, your gender as a woman is of little consequence for your property rights. Hence, the property rights of daughters are almost entirely the same as property rights of sons. A daughter can acquire, hold, and dispose of property at par with any other man. Today, there are practically no restrictions on a woman's capacity to acquire, hold, and dispose of her property. Daughters have an equal share in their father's self-acquired property as well as ancestral property. Daughters, after the Supreme Court judgment of 2005, have become comprises. Hence, they have equal rights in all property, including agricultural land. Both men and women are equally capable of holding their own separate property. Any restrictions on daughters' rights are same for all genders. Hence, daughters today have virtually equal rights in property as a son does. Your gender as a woman does not place you at any significant disadvantage in the arena of inheritance rights. As a daughter, you have the same inheritance rights as a son of a generation. Thus, a daughter has the same inheritance rights as a son. A granddaughter has essentially the same inheritance rights as a grandson, and so on. In most cases, the daughter is entitled to inherit the same share of her ancestral property as a son of the same generation. His marriage does not affect daughter's inheritance rights. A married daughter has the same right in the property as an unmarried daughter. In India, the law of inheritance varied based on religion. The religion of the deceased governs which law of inheritance will apply. Thus, Hindu inheritance law applies to the death of Hindu Christian. Inheritance law applies to the death of Christian Muslim, and inheritance law applies to Muslim deaths, etc. Hindu property law for daughter. Both sons and daughters are equally capable of acquiring, holding, and disposing of their own property. There is almost completely equal between son and daughter in their regard. In the inheritance arena, the Hindu law of succession has undergone a great transformation over the past centuries. Classically, the property rights of daughters were significantly inferior to the property rights of sons. Subsequent legislation and amendments have nullified discrimination against daughters. After enacting the Hindu Succession Amendment Act of 2005, sons and daughters now enjoy virtually the same property rights. Equal rights of daughters in joint family property. Daughters did not enjoy the same right as a son in joint family property for a long time. Daughters were at a disadvantage compared to sons in terms of both their rights to control the property and their right to inherit it. Legislation after legislation has gradually diluted their inequality over the past centuries. Finally, with the enactment of the Hindu Succession Act of 2005, sons and daughters now have the equal rights to inherit the joint family property of their and sister. So I hope you guys like this video and learned something from it. So do like, share and comment and subscribe the channel. Thank you.